Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back to this Pxy-VERSE. So, today you'll see by the title, the pre-prod production, right? Pre-production quest for the making of 3D webcomics. So here's some Mass Effect soundtrack. I hope they don't bother with just a stream to share this. It's in the internet. I'll just mention it later. What happened to the stream? Did it start already, or it looks strange? Looks like it's not. There's an error. Let's see. Hold on, folks. Should be streaming. Yeah, it is. Okay, folks. Hello, welcome, and welcome back to the Pxy-VERSE. And today we're gonna, continue doing what we're doing, but with a different approach. I have in focus the idea of starting storytelling in the 3D CG art within Blender as the main creation tool to make 3D webcomics. So I have familiarity with 2D webcomics drawing, right? But not 3D. So turns out that to make 3D webcomics might not be that hard. At least I believe it's less complex than 3D animation. But it's not that I'm not gonna make 3D animation. I have my projects there. But let's say that the making 3D webcomics, I can do both, right? But if I start with 3D webcomics, I can already make a lot of storytelling ideas, provided I can make this successful project, and I will be building those assets, those pre-prod assets for the 3D webcomics, and they will be reused later on for 3D animation or alongside for 3D animation project. So it's the same universe, like the sci-fi universe. So this is Dorothy, she's the main character, and basically what I'm going to do is that I have an idea now. It's just a scene I had in mind to make like one page of webcomics. You know, those pages usually they are verticalized, but there might be other ways to do it because it's an open field always of research, and consider where and how we'll publish that. There are some considerations also that can make the webcomic for YouTube, like a video interactive. I'm not sure about that, but you know, there are many ways that the problem is that the video on YouTube, it would require sound, which might be good, yeah, but then there's not enough space for yeah, and then there's this complication of the narrative. Yeah, what you do about. So maybe I could do something in between, like, you know, like some sort of a story reel. Oh yeah, this it's not a new idea, but for me, just thinking about this sounds appealing. Like you know, it's like you have like shots of comics, and then you have a soundtrack, there is a pacing, a timing, and then you'll reach eventually. There might be text balloons, right? Because, or some subtitles when the character speaks, but it should be, yeah. So the idea of the advantage of doing that is that one advantage is the place of publication, because then I could publish directly on YouTube, and that might be a good idea, because otherwise maybe I'd use my Patreon, but yeah, I don't feel like it's a good spot to publish that. So anyways, those questions I'll be deciding as the time goes, but now I am into this new track, right, of making these assets. She is an asset, the main character. Her clothes could be costume. This is a sci-fi space marines, yeah, space marines costume, but it will not be the ones that I would use for this first scene. So I probably have to make a different costume for her, but that will be part of the, yeah, what I'm doing here. And also for the scenery, I had an idea of one place. I know already what will happen in this scene I've created today. It is, I'm not gonna tell, but it will happen in let me show the something here. Okay, I'll leave this sound here, but I need the screen. Okay, so you can see my screen. So I have something here. This one. Okay, so in Mass Effect 2, the Normandy is the starship. That's a famous game, right? Roleplay RPG game, space. And so there is one room that inspired me for this scene, and I'm gonna rebuild. Not rebuild it. I'm just inspired by this. I've seen places like that in other. I think Star Trek. There's something like that too. I don't know which Star Trek thing, but so you see this room. It's Kasumi's room. She's an NPC, a heroine that joins Commander Shepard, which is the player, right? So this place is very, for some reason, it's a sort of a lounge. It's actually a bedroom, but it's a lounge. Like, and okay, you enter, you run into this room, which is like linear, right? Elongated on the x-axis, let's say, and then there is already this big window there. Okay, you have this diagonal there. Okay, it's not very interesting, but you see the atmosphere is nice. It's actually nice, this idea. You enter, then there's can go both directions, and there are assets, furniture, details on both directions. So it's like you separate the ambience already. So there is Kasumi, and this is Shepard, a male Shepard. Decide being male or female. Can customize it with the character. I played the Mass Effect 1 some time ago, really good. Then I've just watching playthrough of 2 and 3. It doesn't matter. It's very inspiring game, especially in many ways. Storyline is cool, sort of, but especially I like the one that I play, which I've played. And of course it's sci-fi, so then okay, the other side, you see there's some sort of a bar there, and I don't like too much this other side. I think the lights are too bright there, but it's cool. It's still and then it's sort of a lounge thing. Okay, let's focus on this direction. This my memory, it was better in my memory. So anyways, you see, well, there's a little small bed, and then the other corner. You see the shape of the walls of the room. It's cozy, right? There's some vase with plants, some artwork here and there, a library or something with some content to, I don't know, books. Yeah, it's a bit weird. There are some mix of designs of furniture, but in principle, let's say that, you see, it's not super detailed, except that we have a lot of colors there because of the lighting, the shading, the texturing. So probably there are a lot of work there that it's more realistic. Not too realistic, but too much for what I want to do, right? So of course you see the sofa there, you have a lot of strains and folds, little folds in the couch thing. And so I intend to do something like this. I want to make a room a bit like this, and if I find eventually what would be related to the Star Trek reference of this. Okay, and so here is just so we have some close-ups here of the read. So yeah, it was shelves with books. So, but in principle it was the big shot that I wanted. There's a good view, right, to assess. But you see, in terms of modeling, it's kind of not super complicated. But yeah, it could be way more complicated, and Mass Effect itself has way more complicated places. But like they can. That's very funny, the expression, a bit awkward, but okay. So this is the Kasumi room, right? And very simple, but I don't know. I think there's another room in this game that is similar. It's for an Asari, I think, sort of a paladin Asari for justice. It doesn't matter. Okay, folks. So I'm gonna start building that today in this stream, indeed. But I'm gonna make return to some of the progress that I've been doing here on her, because I'm gonna bring her, Dorothy, to that scene. So it all starts from scratch, right? The scenery, right? All right. So what do I have to do here? First, let's save here. Let's save an iteration here. Oh, by the way, this is Blender already. Blender 4.4.3. The 4.4.2 was kept. Apparently they found a terrible compositor bug, and they had to immediately try to solve it in a new iteration. I don't know why that happened, but I didn't even use the previous correction release, so directly jump 441 to 443, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so what to do here? There is indeed very important things to do, and I won't be able to do everything in a single day. Yeah, so something is bugging my, let's see, apparently we've got some dependency cycles. It has to do with the support upper mouth, support lower mouth. We have deep corners. Oh, these weren't deleted, right? So I wonder why the support, and that is a repetition, right? I wonder what happened to the support. I think I know what's happening is because the, okay, I need to assess the, yeah, let's assess the bones. And here we go. There is the facial, there is the lips, and that's what I need. So let's hide some content here. What's lagging my, okay, I clicked some of this, and now I think my Blender seems to be about to crash. Maybe I should close some of these windows here. Yeah, weird behavior. Yeah, this doesn't look good, so I'm just gonna close this. And probably it's my RAM, too many stuff running and live streaming, right? In my older computer, I wouldn't be able to, barely be able to stream. This one is different. So here why did I close the splash screen? Then I could get this one. This is the iteration I've saved. Alright, so gotta take off the, put the simplify on, hide here, hide stuff here. Okay, we got this, and now going back to the armature. So I don't need to be looking at this. I need, so we're gonna isolate some facial deformed bones here, and just want the facial and lips. This won't help. Okay, so what I believe is happening is that we got here wrong waves assigned to here, but I don't see. Okay, so the waves of these bones shouldn't reach the supported upper mouth. Could be the bone constraints, but no, it doesn't. Wait, maybe it doesn't make sense. As they push, oh yes, maybe this automation is the problem. Well, if I push here, you see that this shouldn't cause any problem. If I manipulate directly, that seems to be okay, right? These are supportive setups, and maybe they shouldn't be, but what is deformed is here. So this is deformed. So in principle, the universal sonic mouth setup, we cannot wave paint. So I have these lips. See that they are sharing waves here, but that's fine. These bones cannot, deformed bones, their vertex groups cannot be part of the muzzle ghost mesh, which is the... I need to be sure of something here. So we're gonna access this. Did I eliminated the lips in here? Yes, I did, but not the support, because those weren't supposed to be. They are not lip bones, but maybe they are in a threshold that relates to the lips. So let's check here. Wave paint sample group, Shift Control X, shortcut, shrink wrap muzzle for the modifier, and yeah. So here is the lips. These deformed bones, no, not this. They are not reaching the lips. So I do not understand what is going on. It's not a problem if they are sharing weight. So I think it's the automator. So probably, so okay, I'm gonna save and let's turn off these bone constraints. Maybe this will not be sufficient, but it's possible that it's the bone constraints. They create a dependency cycle. Okay, it's just one. I hold Alt for all of them. So now this is bad because I won't have the automation, but it's not this bone that automates, by the way. Oh yes, it is. Oh, there we go. This might be the problem. These bones cannot automate I got the wrong target, folks. So maybe this is the root cause of this. These are deformed bones, but they are also tweak bones. I'm just reusing, which is stupid, right? But it's not correct, but it works. It's a shortcut, but I shouldn't be doing this. It also simplified the rig, right? Because it was super complicated already. But this can be confusing, right? Even for myself right now. All right, let's get. I'll intend to solve that later. Not now. That'll just cause more bones, more annoyance. So I need to go to the control. Still not familiar with this hierarchy, new hierarchy stuff. So for here, I need to get there any Alright, so I need to use instead this bone, maybe. Yeah, this bone. But then it won't automate from the parenting, maybe. Yeah. So let's do this. Yeah, let's try and see what happens. Change here. Control lip top, so it's the blue one here. Okay, so now we accept that the transform is not good. We need to, oh yeah, of course it's not good. I'm using a different little target here as well. Retarget, okay. And now we got the control, exactly. Because this is a control bone. It's not a deformed bone, and so it's not bad. Although it carries the lip bones, I think the problem was that the deformed lip bone was affecting it directly. So this is forbidden. We'll see. So now I just want to see if the the automation works from parenting. Really? No, the automation is locked. You see? I was expecting this. The parenting, this is parented to the master lip, which is this one. But this parenting will make that this bone constraint, which is targeting this. Okay, this carries, but here this is not moving because it's using its local coordinates. It's not moving, it's moving just in world's coordinates, but not in local coordinates. So it's not pushing, it's not transforming. And so this bone, which is automated by by true bone constraints, doesn't get the parenting offset from the parent, yeah, because it's local coordinates. So this automation will fail. I'll have to, instead of parent, do something else. Or this unfortunately will ruin any rig that I know. This is an interesting proposition. Let's see if there's anything that we can do here. This is a bit crazy. Let's see what happens if I cross target this. Okay, nothing happens. And here happens as expected, or sort of. Then let's invert this. This is experimental, right? So nothing, irresponsive, responsive. Okay, so because of this thing, I would rather use I'd use this target, the big one, because it's the higher in hierarchy, so it will be responsible to move. this mesh, while this one won't be able to do so. But that's okay. The difference I can, yeah, that seems to be okay. The difference is this one, it should carry the arcades as well, and this one just the lips, and this one the lips and the arcades. Alright, so probably it's very possible that this was the root cause of the dependency cycle. So what I need to do now is change these targets. So it will be here and here. And as for here, we're gonna pick this, paste here and here and there, and yeah, then we just symmetrize this and got the, okay. Then I'm not satisfied with those names, right? All the names from a previous rig, not old, just previous. So I'm gonna, yeah, top, yeah, those are updated already. So the lips, the form lips. You know what? I want to make those differentiation control, tweak and deform. Yeah, let's do this soon. Fix this already. And if I have to reposition them, yeah, reposition multiple bones with their different bone layers all at once. Whatever. So we need automators for rigging in Blender. All sorts of automators. Rigify, stuff like Rigify. We need more scripts, more scripting, more add-ons, more, I would say even more intelligence to the rigging processes, right? Hard stuff. So anyways, yeah, what I'm doing, I need to get, not the lips, I need to get these bones. Yes, so let's make some updates here. Master lips, left, right, right, left, right. Control lips, okay, these are the sides, these are master. So we're gonna do this, find replace T top. B for bones, let's do it again, then this one, B and bot. There we go, solved. This, yeah, there's also this one, so these are arcade bot. Okay, so this is arcade top, this is arcade bot, control arcade. So these are, this system is, let's see, it is not working. This follows the jaw. No, why it is locked like that? Oh, because of it is locked like that because of the part display custom shape, right? I'm using the override transform. Let's collapse this for a moment, a little more. Then, so what's happening here is that okay, then we have some bones and not this. We need to access. Okay, I can't find, they are jaws, so we need to fix those names as well. Let's see, what do we have here? This one, then this one, are all these top? Yeah, I think that's all there is. Okay, there is a buffer, there's a target, there is a arcade top, and there is this one which already fixed. So we're gonna, okay, let's start with the opposite. There's just this tree. Let's fix that. And now for the top. So we're gonna T top. There it is. And there is one that is called 001 for some reason. Arcade bot, mechanism arcade bot, arcade top, control arcade top, doesn't need that. No, it needs, so why is that? What is the control? This is controlling, this is not controlling. Why not? So it's possibly the rig is broken here. This is the bottom, this is the top, okay. Okay, so this is a mechanism. Oh, I see. So this is actually, it would be a mechanism arcade top. Alright, just wrong name. But the color is, it's not quite right. So, why I can't... Okay, let's copy this. Let's paste. So it's following the mechanism, right? Following. No, it's not following. Actually, it is transforming, but it is maintaining. This shouldn't be target pivot. I'm missing something. I was gonna save. Oh, of course. There, I know. Maybe it's that. So we need the arcades, and it will be easier when we see the actual teeth and all that. So yes, because this system is bound to the... Oh, the bone constraints are disabled. Alright, it's all disabled. So why is all that? This is a complicated setup, but it's very interesting. I tried to master lip top, and this maybe doesn't require. I can revise the original character where it existed, but let's get to the... because I want to get this thing organized finally. So I need the arcades. What are these? They are not deformed bones. Their shrink wrap targets doesn't seem to be correct. Yeah, this is gonna target here. Alt doesn't help here. What helps is copy to selected. Alright, then gonna enable them, but they need a certain distance that I need to update. This value doesn't seem to be helping in this character design. Naturally it's should be adapted, so let's see. Is this suffering big change? Not good. Okay, now they don't move, so this seems to be fine, and here they move a little. Let's... even with this, well, I could just reposition them also. This is... yeah, actually these bones are not even... they are not respecting the mesh probably. Or are them? are they? Something very weird now is happening. What the hell is that? Okay, and this is the master lips. Okay, this no, these are okay. There's no problem with this shrink wrap in principle. Let's look at the arcades, and then I'll try to explain this setup here, why it exists. So mouth, and you see it's not moving. So is that armature modifier? Yes, it is targeting, subdivision surface. This has shape key. It has vertex groups, but okay. So I see. Of course, the arcade, they are rigged, but they are not moving, and they are locked. This control arcade is not controlling the actual arcade, so they are the control arcade top. Yeah, so these are parent to the mechanism arcade. Oh yeah, of course. It's because all the bone constraints that exist here, they are disabled for some reason. Probably this was breaking the rig in many ways, and I had to reset. Let's see, where are the suddenly the okay, where are you? It's going nuts. What is this? Yeah, it's probably a stretch 2 problem. No. Copy scale. I don't know. I'll take off everything from one by one, and then we'll find out. Oh yeah, this target is somewhere else, of course. This is the object exists, but it's from another rig. So yeah, forgot that other bones here have some shrink wrap features. Okay, stretch to target. Okay, so what's happening is that here we have an in reverse system in which this is not a pivot point. So this is actually a fake pivot. These bones are facing facing backwards, and these bones are also facing backwards. So this is a system that will map the pivot point from this stretch 2 bone constraint on this bone. The stretch 2 needs to go after the shrink wrap. Let's update here as well. Although I'll have to make sure that everything here is set up properly. Maybe this distance, I'm not sure. This will have to readapt, but in principle, see. Okay, stretch 2. I think it's okay resetting this here. Okay. So this is not moving, but we now can Now something is missing. What is this? Master laptops. Maybe this shouldn't be moving. Wait, welcome cousins. Sometime not seeing you. How you doing, bro? Welcome back to the streams. I also wasn't been online for many days in sequence. Okay, so this one seems to be working, and I can have the automation of the, yeah. Okay, so this is making, why I need this setup, because then this is a way to have the arcades have something that will remember a perfect arc, but in the universal sonic melt rig, where the arc actually, I think there is some way, I just don't remember what, if I, yeah, I have a perfect arc if I do this, but I think it's not this that I need to do. Yeah, because in the universal sonic melt rig, the arc is defined by the mesh, the curvature of the mesh, which is organic. It's not necessarily a perfect circle, so it doesn't respect the perfect arc sphere of a bone. But we can make it with something a bit like that. Maybe there will be other approaches, but this is a bit complicated. So here, and I'm not sure here is, and here we got another thing, which is something is not totally working here. Let's see. Clearly something is not working. I think I forgot to enable some stuff. Could be that some things, oh, here. Okay. I need to enable like that. Don't ask what. Right now I'm not even sure what is. Those things are all. They should be making. Yeah, this also was not enable. Okay, let's reset here. It looks like some things are not adequated. So this is not pulling the arcades. It should, so something. Okay, of course I need to enable this. Anything else? We have, yeah, we have these ones. Then for here as well, have this left and right, and then we have this. So I've temporarily disabled those things so that I could. Wow. Yeah, so now I start to get some okay results. So here, this is just for posing the lips. This will pose lips and arcades, but we see that these collisions here are not really helping. So probably the shape of the arcades are inadequate. No, the shape, yeah, they are not looking very good, right? The orientation seems broken. Let's see the transforms. Okay, nothing about the transform. So they are okay. They are. These are the rest position. They are suffering from some immediate rotational effect, which is probably due because of this. So what is happening here? Oh yeah, these bones are all. I need to reposition this structure. That's it. Right. So that should be simple. So I need to find the center there. Then we just pick all these mass of bones here, of joints, and snap there. Now we need to fix this stuff here. This for the top, this for the bottom. All right, no, yes, no, the opposite of what I said. So now still we are having some. Now it's a sort of a translation. And why this is happening? Oh yeah, this is still suffering a big displacement, and I know what's happening. It's because this bone here we are having some still displacing. Oh yeah, okay. The okay, I've made in the wrong order. Actually, this is confusing, but this is because this bone is like that. It is the mechanism, and this is the buffer. So the buffer carries the mechanism, and the buffer is, yes, the mechanism is parented to the buffer. So the buffer needs to reset first. Hold on. No. This one. Okay, no. Let's do it. Let's just. Why it wants to. Oh, the shrink wrapping is not allowing it. Okay, I see. Yeah, this is. The shrink wrapping is interfering with the positioning of the ideal position of the bone, and I will need to take this off, so it has, and this also. So it's not about this. This will, I think the order here might not matter. Okay, now the arcades are not suffering. So why did... This is a shrinked in relation to the real face, is a shrinked ghost muzzle. So of course, if I use the shrink wrap, it will display, right, push the base of this bone. So how it worked before, I have no idea. I will have to check the other file. But anyways, now at least the setup might be closer to. Let's also use the subdivision. Yes, so here we got better stuff happening. Okay, still got some problem with the when we pose the arcades. This character design is different, I guess. So for the most part it works, but we're having problem with the top arcades, right? So this is very important. It relates to the character design. So we need to see which kind of pose will... So the natural pose is like that, but then if you look, I need to open and be able to see the teeth from so already I see that when she opens the mouth, the jaw goes down. We from a front view perspective, we don't really see very well the lower arcades, the lower teeth, so it is sort of super inclined. And like, let's see it again. No, it's not that bad, but let's hide the ghost. So this is the character design, very specific. It's difficult. I've been improving this. It's not that bad. Okay, so we see the lower arcades. They are a bit strange. They could show a little more. It's not bad. Okay, but it could be improved. And then we have a problem with the automation of the arcades here. I think they could... Oh, now this is moving. I thought it couldn't move. No, yeah, okay, it is moving because now we have... Now the setup is... Yeah, so you see what they do, they pivot. But the orientation is a bit awkward, right? The orientation is not... Or it's because of how I've rotated that, possibly. It doesn't have all the... something here. Yeah, it's rotation. It's not like natural, right? But otherwise things are working okay. Yeah, so we need to... Perhaps this... It's too inclined, right? The inclination is too much from the... Right, so the problem is that the bones of it are already posed according to the mesh, and I wouldn't like to have to reposition bone and mesh simultaneously, right? This is... I cannot... Is there a way to do this simultaneously? Hard question. Okay, so what I want, yeah, it's always edit mode, right? One way would be to transform those scrap into, like, if I could separate these bones and then rejoin these bones, this is, it could be dangerous, but maybe that would work. That's weird, right? Then I move by objects, right? It will be something like this. So lower arcade bones, right? Select mirror extend. Okay, we got all of them. P. Now they are an entire freaking armature object. If I join this thing into here, that could mess up the, let's see, wow, this armature has a lot of armature data. It's the same armature data except that yeah, that's scary, but I think it, because I didn't touch anything, it will just override, or just yeah, it could be terrible. No, it wouldn't override, because the active, which is the leading on the join operator, will just they won't be override. They'll just add the other bones. So that means that I can pick the arcade, the bottom arcade, and this, and I can like reposition this. Let's make it a little up. I could even, yeah, is that enough? Already, so I could try to make some derotation, right? Why not, right? Yeah, it was too much like that, so let's change this. Let's try to make a different alignment here. Let's try, yeah, here I'm already losing this. So okay, apply all transforms, and for this we don't apply. Yeah, I've lost the positioning because of this rotation I've made, but that's okay. Wait, I know there's an easy way. Okay, let's go back. Okay, we pick, no, I'll still rotate both and just reapply there. But they are suffering from, yeah, they are suffering from the shrink wrap, but this is another issue. Their rest position will be sustained. I'll just have to realign them, I guess. Yeah, unsure, but that seems fine. Then I get this, and then I need to do the same thing here, so it's like bone collection, color, is that it? Yeah, so then P, and then I pick this and pick this, and maybe I do something like this, move this forward. I'm not certain here what is required, but the bone seems too much elongated, yeah. So now I can, yeah, let's pick these, apply all transforms. I can also change the bones shapes, not shape keys, the bones, the bone, the teeth, the arcades mesh, right? Okay, now that this is set like that, we're just gonna rejoin this and hope this doesn't explode the rig, and that they put this in the correct collections. Okay, the armature seems not to have exploded, so I'm just gonna pick these bones of the arcades and gonna give them some orientations. Shift N, no, this is, it's not row, it's the align. There's not something like that. Yeah, so I need a bone of reference. This one. Bone rolls, show me you. Yeah. Seems to be accurate. So we're gonna get this and this. It is selecting, yeah, they are extended, right? We got them. Then Control Alt A, there we go. All of them are aligned, and let's see now for the face, real face. Let's save here. Let's see what we've done. Oh, the upper arcade something. Oh, okay. The bones lost their parenting, right? Huh. Okay, easy thing. They need to be parented. The problem that I don't remember what's that. Maybe the buffer. That seems to be more logical to me. Provide that works. Something seems wrong. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I parented the opposite. Okay, so let's do it again. Color parent to this one. Buffer top. Since we are here, we pick these ones and parent to buffer bot. And now okay, front view, what's happening to the... I don't really perceive any improvement, but this might be that we can readjust the some byte bound constraints is the automation. So for example here, stretch to limit scale, limit, yeah, so the leading is the buffer, of course. So what it needs to do is it's following too strongly the master leap bot, right? So if I reduce this, although this it was set at 1, we have a, so this is not ideal, but by just doing this we could improve the appeal, right? Could make things better, but there would be other ways. This one is like, okay, and here's something very weird is happening. Apparently this bone is, there's another shrink wrap. clearly there's a behavior here which is missing. This bone should master leap top. Okay, here. Oh yeah, because I've changed the rotations, right? So I need, so actually there existed this thing, so it was expected to be like that. Okay, so I didn't did something too wrong. It was already expected to have this whatever looks better. So now this looks very good. That looks good as usual. And here, this, yeah, it's all looks better now, except this, right? So here, how to handle this? Okay, I can. Okay, what is by having just follow leap top? Yeah, it's a diminute. Oh yeah, of course. All right. So it moves slightly, and if it was following completely the positioning of this bone, of course that will cause the craziness there. But now it is, well, the bottom one doesn't move at all, but we could do this. See, Shift Alt C, except that we are gonna use the change bot. I don't know if this is necessary. We can disable it. Yeah, let's see. Why would that even be? Okay, and this moves, oh, interestingly, this moves the mouth but doesn't move the arc. Is do I have a master? Well, I have. What are you doing? Oh yeah, I'm not using the. Okay, here. Let's reset here. This is there's some strange stretching there, needs to, so this is the master jaw, so you can implement something like that for the universal Nicknall rig. It's very tricky. You have to use something like, what is this? That's not shrink wrapping, right? Let's use the shrink wrap to 0.2, and let's bring this to the, again, the ghost mesh. There, so now it can be pulled out, but can go in. Yes, this is, it is, yeah, it is sliding. This is not good. Because it relies on the normals, so in order to fix that, super annoying, would need to apply, right? It's a little tweak. But if I do that, that will mess up everything. So this is for later. Trying to find the adjustments. And I have to put all those bones in the right place. There is something wrong. What is this bone here? No, this is something else. But there are some inaccuracies there. Let's hide the arcades. No, yeah, the arcades. Let's check now. Going back to the soundtrack. Everything is it everything stacking? Yeah, it's stacking. It's just because there are other bones that were in the way. They seemed that it was not matching, but it was. So the reason I'm not gonna apply respose here to match the shrink wrap is because I'm still working on the ghost mesh, and so every time if it moves, right, it will be better to just do the opposite, try to match the tip of the mesh there, of the ghost mesh, to something there, but it will be complicated as well, so not gonna bother with this small tilting for now. Alright, so what do we have here? Okay, we have this, we have this. Oh yes, I was trying to fix the... I remember. So this is in very beginning. I needed to fix the dependency cycles. So I'm gonna close Blender, reopen so I can refresh the stack, the list of where are those? Yeah, these are probably from other rigs, right? And here are the dependency cycles from the support. So they weren't fixed, so maybe I can't use those at all. So let's try to first mouth, lips, and lips helpers. Okay, so you have this. No, this is not lips helpers. It's facial. Checking is if everything here, if there's not any anomaly. Okay, this seems accurate. So this could be the culprit, but makes no sense to me yet. So what if I the problem is that I'm not sure that by disabling this do you have the ghost mesh there, and is it closed? Yes, it is. Fine. It shouldn't be doing this, but since I am here, this I want to automate as well, at least for this model, and but maybe not today. Let's see. Bone constraints. All right. So why this dependency cycle? Alright, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna just disable and see if that will be sufficient. Save, close. Now I absolutely need a refresher for this thing. Okay, these things, and at least in this version of Blender, other errors that were happening on my file aren't happening anymore. Okay, so that ghost modifier depends on mount surrounding via armature modifier. Alright, I see. This I know. Where they fix itself via parent child bone. Control lips, master lips. It doesn't accept the automation. Yeah, it solves itself, but this is dirty. So this automation, okay, I see. I think I understand now. The master lips, I think I got it. Why this happens? These, although they are master lips, controller for the lower face, they should, because they are carrying the lips, they can't carry at the same time other bones of the face, like, but then why this can, this carry the lips, but maybe it carries by some sort of parenting. Let's see. Mouth, master mouth, deform head, copy, transform, master jaw. No. So oops, this seems to not being accepted in. Okay, this looks like it will crash. Sorry folks. Mysterious, I don't know why this cannot have, but this can have, because the master jaw indeed carries the lips, and it is carrying this, which affects the muzzle face. Okay, the wave paint is a bit further, see, by this kind of bone constraint, so it gets an automation. So why these ones, they just can't get automation as well, right, from a bone that is connected, right? Doesn't make sense to me, but so maybe it's not about the bone constraints. But first let's fix this thing here. Oh, it's not trembling anymore, or maybe it is. Yeah, it didn't solve anything, but that's okay. So let's see the thing there. Of course, if I turn off the deform property, then of course, but then there's nothing good to it. So now no dependencies. Why it appears if I've not clean? Okay, now I don't understand, because there are no more deformed bones. They don't, but they are still, well, they still have the waves, but no problem. They are still the bone constraints, that's true. So let's make a stupid, the dependency stack seems to be breaking my, it's causing this crash. Most likely they are corresponding to this crash. So I'm gonna make a iteration here just to see. I have to take this off entirely. No, these are being deformed bones, but I think they don't hold any. No, they don't hold any waves. And anyways, I haven't seen their names as vertex groups. The type of bone constraint shouldn't be responsible for. Yeah, there's nothing special here. Maybe it's a bug. They kept some past interaction. Okay, I'm gonna save this file. Let's close. Let's open Blender. Again, 23. And okay, we managed to fix something, but still something is remaining. Depth surrounding mouths. Oh, I see. There's still one remaining mouth surrounding. Mouth surroundings. This bone still there as something that I left. It's counting as a master top lips. What is all this? It copied the, yeah, this is all from all these drivers lost. It's terrible. Okay. No, the drivers are not lost. Okay. So, of course, we don't want any of that. So maybe this is the... Maybe this was the bone causing the trouble even without... Okay. Even without being a... It doesn't do nothing now. with this, yeah, it will. Oh yes, this one is yeah, super dangerous at this point. These depth surroundings, this is something to check in the inversonic melt rig. Let's see. Hold on folks, I'm gonna change the screen type. I'm searching for the file in my folder, so I think it's lab. Yeah, YouTube, no, utility. Blender Learning, Universal, Sonic Setups, Kamal version, here we go, okay. Yes, here we go, this is the classical. And so here, what we got here is that this is not a deformed bone, but we have some collections, show all. Okay, there is some extrude, no. This is a deformed bone, yeah, so there is, no, like this wire. Okay, let's go on wave paint mode here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 8 bones. This is not the head, this is the mouth, the back side of the mouth bag, mouth interior. And then, okay, so then we have head. Okay, this is doesn't matter. I'm looking for the lips extrude, this is not important. Then we have mouth rotation, it's not a deformed bone. Okay, this is the mouth, it's more an internal bone. I think it's not a posable bone. Mouth position, this is the actual mouth position, and you see the mouth position itself, curiously, is being a deformed bone. This is for the arcades. This is the tongue. Okay, so this bone is stacking functionalities. Not only it is the mouth position thing, it is also the it is also happen to be wait, it has the waves, but maybe I myself turned this off. I have to, because this is my version, my file. This is the original file. Let's try again. This is the okay, why I cannot change? What are the names of the overlays? Okay, here. Okay, mouth position and deep extrude. Okay, so this is the. Oh yeah, I turned it off, right? But it is on by default, indeed. So now I also want to check if because this is a deformed bone indeed. If it, for the muzzle, not the mouth but the muzzle, the ghost thing, if it holds that vertex group. So it doesn't hold that vertex group, so it counts as a lip bone. You see, the lips don't hold the weights, but the facial, they hold the weight. So nose ridge, cheekbone, yeah, I have stuff like that. Alright, so then this bone, which counts for the mouth positioning, no, again, I'm wrong here, the face, right? Yeah, so there is blended waves between the lips and this. Because this rotates the mouth hole, the mouth altogether, right, with the lips, then it is in this rig, at least, because it's very smooth, the curvature of the muzzle, the lower face, then you see there's not a pointy chin like in my character design, so it's very different. This is much easier to set up. This is what I learned the hard way, but my character design is different, so it's more angular, and this can cause a lot of problems to shrink wrapping. So I had to find some alternatives and workarounds. So here, so these waves can help, but they cannot, maybe they can, right? Maybe they can be part of the ghost muzzle, but that is dangerous apparently. So I'm gonna go back here to my stuff here, and we are going to delete this bone because, well, it has some valuable waves. So what I can do is go back to the face ghost. Let's find surroundings. Maybe I just forgot to delete that. We don't want this. And on the real face, so this might be what was causing the dependency cycles, like in a chain of things. Just because of that, maybe it was not about the other bones and their bone constraints. Where is the surroundings? We're gonna just get it to we're gonna change it to lips surrounding. Although there's no, so this will preserve my, it will be part of the lips collection, so lips naming, so it will be easier to find and then to delete. Although I'll have to do something like here in my script. Well, I'm not gonna put in the script because, yeah, not yet, because I'm still experimenting. So it's not a bone that I will be manipulating there. I'm gonna just get it is like duplicate this bone, master mouth, gonna expand this, so I'm gonna just change this as some sort of, I don't know, place this color here, it can just be like that. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna call this def1. Yeah, let's call this, so it will take, inherit the, I'm gonna parent it, offset here. I'm gonna alt M move it to the form, so go to the lips helpers, whatever, facial lips helpers, and then I'm gonna also go to its bone constraints, turn it deform. I'm gonna, don't need this, don't need that. I'll just follow by parenting, and also I don't want the custom shape. Reset everything, there we go, and I'm gonna make it, yeah, I'm gonna make some changes here. There we go. And now we see what it does. Yeah, it is doing this. And does it contribute to other posing? I don't think it is doing that. Possibly because, no, it's not it that is destroying neither. So these bones, they are helpful. Now turn this on. There's no automation here anymore. Let's do this again. Turn this on. Yeah, there is minimal impact. I'm not sure if this helps or not. It's hard to tell, but apparently, yeah, it can help sometimes and can be bad on other times. But if I go on wave paint mode, I can probably do something about its also it looks like it's too close to the lips. This could be causing the dependency cycles. Take off this, and we gonna even use more smooth, and on X contract, and we can mount these iterations. It can be really lower value, and then we just better use my tablet. It's not really, well, I have restrict. Yeah, so as you can see, it's very low waves, but this can be sufficient to provide some okay results. Although it's hard to see exactly how much it helps. Yeah, if my character design was a bit more smoother that will be. But the idea that is a ring thing, I think it is consistent with the generic idea. Alright, then I'm gonna get back here. We're gonna close Blender. We're gonna open again to check if there's dependency cycles now. I think now they're gone. This is not dependency cycle. This is some warning about, yeah, so there have they goners. This is about master key and how that probably other parts of the rig. It'll take a while to take it off. As I start to clean up I'll be deleting the parallel rigs which exist in this file, and that will be fixed. So no dependency cycles here, so good. But then let's remake the automation for this. Wait, my Blender now wants to crash. Okay, sorry folks. Looks like it's my, I think it's the streaming, all those stuff is taking too much things to the RAM. Let's get back here, open again, and okay, we are back. Also, let's use simplify here. So we got, is it on or off? Render, simplify, it is on. So alright, so I want to remake the automations. Let's see. No dependency cycles. What is this? Traceback error, mesh object has no attribute collection. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Warns, all the same shit. Not a problem. So I want now to check if I use the automator here. So copy transforms, of course it's not like this. So the automation here is smarter than that. It's local space, custom space. It will use the same target. So it's the pivot point, not replaced, before original, and on a very low value. So something like that. I don't remember what was before. So when I move and I pose this, you see that this mechanism bone, which is the parent of this handle and this handle of this supportive upper mouth, right? So they will, this bone will carry everything, and proportion, no, it's not this bone, it's this bone, master lip stop, right? It moves the arcades. This one just moved the lips, but not the arcades, but then it won't carry. And that's okay. This is because it doesn't have bone constraints. This should be a highlight for a cool example here, but I'll do after I checked if this is causing any dependency cycle. So this is automated now, and we want for all the surroundings. So so that creates out dependency cycles. Supportive mouth. All right. Let's try to understand just a little. Face ghost modifier armature. Yes, so it's the ghost is a dynamic face ghost mesh dummy model, so it is already deforming itself by some the same armature object that deforms the real body. Then we have the supportive mouths, which are, it's fixing the dependency cycle eventually, but it is causing loops, right? It's not good because they also deform armature modifier. Yeah, I see. Yes, okay. These bones, they share waves with the lips, and they deform the they don't deform the ghost. So this interaction, the ellipse is not bone segment, V bone segment. This setup wasn't. Yeah, the reason I'm doing this is probably because in one of my recent projects of mount rigging, I did the universal mount rig with just shrink wrap bone constraints. So I had a legion of mini deformed bones all along the face, the lower face, the muzzle, and there were no shrink wrap modifier. So there's nothing like that. It was all done by shrink wrap bone constraints on deformed bones. And so this is why I was familiar with this idea of automating this. But now this is not working because I have a shrink wrap modifier. So it's probably causing that I cannot just have this automation done. However, what I could try to do wait, what if this supportive melts? No, it makes no sense. But I know now this is the culprit. We can't have this kind of, even disabled, it will still appear as an issue, I guess. Okay, and it's gonna crash. So so this setup I'm doing now, I had the idea so that it could, because I was having some some bad artifacts in this rig which are not common, not the kind that I used to have. I had other issues, but and then I just occurred, let me use this technique, and it turns out that it's not good. So here we are back, and we don't have the dependency cycles there. Yeah, we don't have, but I cannot get this automated by this bone, nor by this bone. So let me try to bring this to the back to the okay, then we see what's happening here. These bones support, need to check, I'm not sure here. Oh yes, of course, that's the reason. These bones, they deform the ghost muzzle because they are facial bones, but then if they are being pushed by this, and this is carrying the lips, only the lips, then the lips will have to reposition themselves because the mesh that the lips bones deform, it is shrink wrapping to the ghost mesh. So this is why the dependency cycles auto fix itself, but it's sort of has to loop a little in order to find the final state. So this is what was happening. So if I wanted to have this set up, then I would need to take off the supportive, this for supportive from the ghost muzzle. So if I wanted to have the automation, and I sort of want to, so it's just this 4, and but this might reduce the quality of my okay, right now nothing is happening. So I would treat this as if they were lips bones, but they are not. I wanted to treat them just as this kind of bone, but which can have automation, by the ways, but this is another question. And these bones, yeah, and other bones around the lower face, but not the lips. And this, because something that controls the lips would control them, they cannot be part of, and then they will go back to affect the mesh that control the lips. We cannot have them being affected by the automation. So to solve that, yeah, deleted those vertex groups, and then I'm going to yeah, let's also add this. It's sort of crucial, yeah, it's sort of crucial information here. So we'll have to include supportive mouth, lips, B bones, right? Just for bones. So, and then now probably I can make the automation. So there we go again. So we got here, it's like this first, then the mechanism, and then copy transforms, then I'm gonna have the, well, there's another way. We got this has got, where it is, we have this copy transform like that, control master, no master lips, okay, never mind. So let's do that way. Copy transforms before original, copy that, local space, custom space, copy armature, copy this space, there we go, and then reduce this by a lot. And then we got when I post this, I have a bit of automation there, better with the better seen like this. So this deforms the face but not the ghost muzzle. So this will stop some crazy interference that I was seeing before, and that was not being very good actually. Why this is following like this? I don't like how this bone is moving. Control top, lip top, right? No, this is not helping. Control lip left. Control lip zipper, no. It's just a parenting motion. Yeah, this is why I cannot control it. This one, yes, but not with this one. So yeah, little. I can solve this if I did everything by bone constraints. I'll have to recheck this concept. It's something that I've developed later. So parenting is really bad. It's very stupid, very caveman stuff. So for automation it's really poor. It doesn't give any option, barely any option. And I make a highlight with the example here, a good example of how this can be, how is important to understand this, the pathways. So here, okay, this is the stuff. Okay, then I'm gonna copy this to the here, except that we're gonna change the target to this, and here we can probably change some stuff there. Okay, this is very little stuff, but that should help the overall shapes. And then for the sides, so the sides is like the same thing. We gonna pick this and this. Shift Alt C is my shortcut for that, but then we're gonna pick this master lips left, then paste, and let's see what. Yeah, this one is nice, and there we go. And then we pick this and we symmetrize, and let's see now if this is causing dependency cycles. I don't see anything. There's warnings of failed deleted drivers and nothing else, nothing. Yeah, so just some repetition of stuff. So as you can see, the automation now works and we don't have dependency cycles. So this was my mistake. I had this, it was very simple, but no, it was not very simple. But this couldn't be on the dynamic ghost mesh, because if I want to have these automated by bones that are the lips or that control the lips, then this should not be deforming the lips and the real face and the ghost face simultaneously, because then this is higher hierarchy, because this moves the ghost mesh and is deforms the ghost mesh and the real mesh, but then it gets automated by bones that were supposed to only carry the lips and not higher hierarchy stuff for the face. So now we've just made this lower hierarchy stuff. So then we can have something that is original lip stuff. It's a mouth surrounding, but it's being treated as if it was lips related stuff in terms of hierarchy. And so this is how we solve this. Then for these automations, there was a reason why I've decided to do this by not bone constraint, maybe economy, but now this is a problem, because a little problem, right? This is that here is this pure parenting is just another reason that I would like to have this automation being affected by this and by this, but this is not possible because there's a parenting relation here. The blue is parented to the master here. No bone constraints, otherwise double transforms, right? And then if I move this, although this is moving by parenting, it will use local coordinates 0, not moving at all. So that means that I wouldn't be able to automate this. So this is the hell. I can't, so I am, but at least what is higher hierarchy is moving the structure, so that's okay, right? This doesn't automate that, nor this, but this does. So that's okay, right? Probably if I automated this in relation to that will create a dependency cycle. It's the same thing that was happening here. We're gonna make a test here and see if that is true. So we're gonna get this, then this. I'm gonna get copy transforms, and I won't do anything here. We're just gonna, yeah, let's make some basic stuff here, and that, yeah, there we go. It's the same principle. That's the same reason why I had the dependency cycles right before, is why that creates here, because this cheekbone, deformed cheekbone, is a higher hierarchy stuff. It deforms the both meshes, the Dorothy body and the face ghost. So it cannot be carried by this kind of lips, even if the lips, they are not deformed bones here, they are master controller bones, they carry the lips, and that will bring them all together. Well, in this case, this bone is in, well, still confusing, right? Because this carry the lips, but it doesn't, it moves that, the master jaw, but it doesn't, so it's not very clear, but okay, that is not causing dependency side. So still some details that are a bit hard to understand for me, but, and here we got some bulge under the chin here that I cannot explain. Would that be this? No, oh yeah, I know what is that. This looks like that it's some interaction with the, yeah, we got some problem with the angular stuff there. It looks like that the shapes are not matching. Some bones are, yeah, there are a lot of stuff happening there, they're not good. I think it's something related to the jaw bones, they might have some wrong waves, so that's gonna be annoying, but there's no way around. Need to have to investigate that, but it's not the problem now. Alright, so I'm gonna do what I propose myself to fix, which would be to get these lips bones in tweak lips bones into okay, so we're gonna do something here. We're gonna duplicate these bones. Gonna change their, yeah, I'll need to do something about them. Invert selection, Alt M controllers, master face, controller face, tweak lips, just there. Okay, then we are gonna how I'm gonna do that. Okay, I know. So before these are the deformed lips, we're just going to take off their viewport display on pose mode. We're gonna take off, copy to selected, gonna, yeah, I want to zero this out. For all of them, then we're gonna make them very tiny, or maybe not that tiny, because we want to be able to spot them. Their orientations don't seem to be correct. No, but it's just not on edit mode. On edit mode they're correct. We're gonna change these colors to maybe this, and then this, whatever. So I'm gonna go to the vertex groups now. This will be time consuming, but lip. So we're gonna bring add 001 to all this. So we are bringing from the tweak lips, which were the original, they were being deformed bones at the same time. So we are taking their vertex groups to these bones instead. And now I've gone back to the tweak lips, so I didn't change them at all, except that we don't want this here. We're gonna extend Alt M deform face deform lips. Okay, now we're gonna change this collection, no, color, this we're gonna Control F2, B for bones, find replace def 1 to tweak, and now these are definitively real tweak lips. But the problem is that we need to get back to the, so because I didn't change anything about them, okay, we're gonna do something else here. Take off the deform property. They have been stolen, their vertex groups have been stolen. So the parenting relations, there's nothing changed here, the bone constraints all the same, so I don't have to care about anything like that. I just need to bring back these deformed lips and just remake these ones. Yeah, so there's a little thing here is that I will have, however, to do a cleanup here of all these bone constraints that we don't want for all these new bones, right? And we need to remake their parenting. So, and yeah, it's a bit hard to see, but I think it's this, and okay, so this is parent to is the deform, it's parent to this one is the other deform, and we want to parent it to here. And this is it's not mirroring. No, wait, it is. What matters is edit mode, so it is working. Now we got this one to handle. This to here. Double check. Yes, and this one to here, keep offset. And finally this one to here, and this one to here, and And now we have the correct technique. These lips, bones, they are facing backwards. It's just because it's easier to, safer to snap whenever I need. But it's not just like this. It's not necessary to be like that. But I found this a good idea. And they start from the head on the face, right? So that's the why I did this way. Alright, and with this approach it is very easy, right, to get that. I've been doing highlights about this. It's not useless technique, but it's also a niche technique, right? That is the depth warp. So I want like to have a different rest position than the rest pose, then by default then we just have to get the tweak bones and edit mode to have a different position, and then have the deform bone, which is already parent to it, to deform bone to the tweak bone, to its respective tweak bone. Then we add the full copy transforms, replace world space or pose space, doesn't matter. It will immediately snap to the position of the right, but the rest position will be, they'll be offset from the rest position but not from the rest pose, which is on pose mode. And that's, but we can do this in certain cases with just pose assets. It means that you need to click the pose asset every time, but that can save a lot of time. And for the universal sonic melt read setup, this depth warp is super annoying to maintain, to set up and maintain. So it's why I'm not even caring about doing it now. Alright, so see that we have good deforms here for these lips. It's quite good, the mesh. It's getting good, even though I need to retake some waves. And I took off all the bone constraint from the deformed lips. So only those, all of this, half of this, these are automators, right? It's just for this control rig automation here, in which when I pose this bone, we have, yeah, we have some, you see, they don't follow in the same proportion. So this is because of this copy transforms, copy location. Okay, and these are tweaky, sticky lips and zipper lips setup that I'm not even sure it is working. Yeah, they inherit the drivers. Okay, that's, so you have from one side. So this is the, it's very tedious to do, right? I decided to do, I don't know, I never used it for, but it's useful, especially, I think especially this, super useful. There are many ways to do it, right? So now the basically there are drivers that drive the influences. It's not difficult, it's tedious, and to have the notion, what is difficult is to conceive the setup. But I've seen in Maya, the guy in Maya that, oh, that's how it works. Oh, and the idea is that it's very simple. The guy in Maya did it like, it sounds super complicated, but the principle is super easy. It's basically, what's happening? Okay, just intersection. What happens that we need just a switch in which zipper is a little more complicated, but it's just a development on top of the, so we need some positioning of line for the certain, for the center of the mouth or the lips, right? Something in between the top and bottom lip, something like that. And then that curve, for me it's not curve, it's just, they are just bones with this this is just bones like that. We could make a curve maybe, but these bones, they have a head, right? head position, and that it is the position where each of these bones, like, they will snap into these points in space, which are technically in the center of the lip. And of course we can reposition this if we want. They probably would be carried by some, yeah, in this case they are carried by the master bones, not by the control lips, but the master lips. And we can pose them manually if we want. So this one. And so by the driver, what it will do, the sticky lips driver, is that it will get a copy location, copy transforms. I think there's a reason for the copy transforms, because of the orientation of this bone. Yeah, a copy transform will copy the rotation, the bone will rotate, go crazy. So I've decided to do just a copy location. It's safer, right? And then what it does is that it will by the driver, which is the driver can be annoying, tedious, is the most tedious part. It's a switch, that basically gradual switching, that if you control the Y location of this master sticky, then of course then this value will, for the sticky lips copy location bone constraint, will be, right, let's see, yeah, I say augment and diminish. So every bone will suffer, lips and bottom and top, right, and this will control the, so these sticky lips then will allow the chewing motion also, or something like that, because the lips will stay closed, right? So that is super useful, I think, even though I never used, but eventually I probably gonna use. It's very cool. And the zipper lips is this one, so you have from left to right. It's not super good here, I think. It's actually poor. Maybe I probably am missing some way, but or it's my character design that is not super easy to get it. But I just thought that will be it. Yeah, it's about the velocity, right? So these ones will, so you see, so there's zipper lips copy location again from right to left. Then we have to get some so the values here will be different because they are not go all in sync like this, all simultaneously. No, when you do this, this will close faster, this the middle slower, so this will have a lower multiplication, and this also will have an even lower higher multiplication, right to left. Okay, I'm not clear this, but you see there is this delay, and probably I would need to delay more, and then the other would do this. And of course, if we stack them together, this will just sort of symmetrize or whatever. So maybe there is more for the zipper lips. Probably there are, but what I know is that, okay, now these bones are not carrying the lips anymore, so this might be something that I would have to fix. But the fact is that, yeah, I probably could fix it by just getting some bone constraint to this for this and for this. So I just thought about that. Because it could be useful. Okay, this is carrying. And these are, oh, I think I just forgotten. Parent to master lips left. Master lips bot. Oh, okay, so I see what's happening here. It's just this one that, okay, it can't have double parents, so this is why bone constraints are so much better. So let's do a here not copy transforms, wait, yeah, parent is copy transforms, right, equivalent. So we need to have something before original or maybe after. So local space custom, let's mimic a parent relation. This is how we mimic parent relation. And of course we want maybe a low influence. So let's see, yes, it is. Yeah, it's an arbitrary influence. Let's give 0.5 and that should be it. What if it is full? Yeah, I think it's full. So we have like, now let's reset. I'm not sure if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know what is the value that I would need here. .75 maybe. Yeah, that seems the most approximative, or maybe not, but that seems to work. Okay, but then this is why the bone constraints could be better here. Yeah. Let's see what else. And yeah, this is, it's time to have some eyes here, I guess. Alright, then yeah, there is these artifacts that I remember the highlight, but I think I'm too tired now to address this. So yeah, now let's see if there's anything else that would be easier to tackle. Yeah, folks. Okay, so for today, I think that will be it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in touch with the others, the scenery, but next time I'll try to do better in that sector. Just too many things going on for rigging here, as you can might have figured out. So very interesting stuff, but slowly we're getting this character Dorothy rigged for the yeah, re-rigged. Or this version actually is the first time that I'm rigging with all the implementation. So this rig is quite rich. It has one feature that nobody will talk about except on the most advanced discussions about, I don't know, there's some new software out there with I don't know the name, sorry, but some people just, oh, look what you can do with some inverse kinematics, multi-directional, I don't know, and what in Blender it is important to figure out is that we have the auto IQ option, which allows for some level of puppeteering skeletons. So that means that I can have some amount of bidirectional, yeah, let's say we have some inverse kinematics for free, and they are combinable with the with this is a glitch, but it's no problem. It still works. It's less stiff than the I key bone constraint, but we can combine them, as you can see here. So you can push. This is happening because I have also a I key on the head. This Rigify has, Rigify Don, I think it had, also Rig on the Fly has a add-on, it's free, it has something like that that allows head pinning setup. But my head, I've made my own head pinning setup working alongside the puppeteer skeleton. So they can have those, but they don't have the puppeteer skeleton. All those rigs, they don't have it because they don't use. Maybe they can mimic this with more inverse kinematics here and there, but this, instead of clicking buttons on you just pick the bone and pose. So how good is this, right? So you pick the bone, you decide the auto I key length, you see here, and of course there are limitations to this because this doesn't create a pinning. So this is why I had to make a pin setup, which was super complicated. There are different ways to do it. No way is perfect that I found. The auto I key option don't have the master I key to pin stuff like this, right? So this is a critical limitation. On the other hand, the critical limitation of the I key bone constraints, it don't have versatile chain lengths, so you're just stuck forever or nearly with a stiff bone constraint. But with the help of the auto I key option, we can change the chain length and move the arm and parts of the body together, even all the body, but that will depend on how we subdivide the spine or make the so I have some setups here that are specific, right? But so what I did here is that this is a bendy bone spine, and this is what's playing here is that actually let's reduce this auto I key length. There is a spine splitting where here the control rig starts to go. So all the chains are connected. These control bones in blue, they are both F key and you see this is F key, but it works as I key, you see, thanks to the auto I key option when it is enabled. So this is a unique feature that gives all this versatility. So same for the feet. I can pick the master I key foot, and if I elongate the auto I key chain length, I can push the body. Sometimes I have some, hold on, I need to fix the inverse kinematics panel for these bones, but I got the foot and the shin, and because my auto I key chain length, it crosses the splitting of the spine, they are still connected by this bone, right? It is the parent connected of this and the hip sway here. So this is the center of the spine. It connects bottom spine and lower spine, let's say upper and lower body in terms of the control mechanism. So this is all connected, and of course that brings up some complications because you can make offset deform tweaks, but this is not the best way. So we have, no, it works, right? We can do this all the time, but in any rig, I guess. But this we have this setup has a problem because connected parenting is super stiff on its own way. Although it allows auto IQ options. It's a great advantage in my opinion. But the disadvantage that I cannot just make a master bone like you have in Rigify that is parent to this or that will transform this bone. No, these bones are totally locked to their chain. So this is a limitation, but we can still have some amount of masters. Like I can have a center of gravity. I can have I found out lately that I can have these are a bit disorganized, but this is a master of our body. So this is just about controlling the base, controlling the base of the skeleton. It's this bone here. Control IT spine connector. Actually, this name is even incorrect. It's control spine connector. Then I have the what is the name? Okay, then we have master torso. So this is the conventional master torso. You can have this, right? You see it carries, it's just, this is the last of the chain. So it means that this can be parent offset. So here is, we don't have more struggle. So, but then we decide, okay, master torso. So it's parent to the master torso. But the master torso here is different. You see it's a small bone comparison to it. It doesn't carry the hands. However, I made just that this is parent to the upper body. This carries this and the hands. So instead of parent the hands of master IK hands directly to the master COG, yeah, center of gravity. Well, actually they are parent to another bone, and this one would be parent to the center. No, then this setup, it goes to this master per torso. So you have this thing, which is not super important, because if we don't have this bone, we can just get this to the center and pivot here, and there we go. So actually, sorry, pick this, and so it's not super, it's just a bone that does it on its own, right? This pivoting of the hands plus the upper torso. So this is, and then this is parent to the finally master's center of gravity, which moves everything, well, except for the root and certain other features maybe. And then we have the master lower body, which carries the master IT foot and some other features. Oh, actually, hold on, there is, what's the parent of this? Mechanism pole. Looks like we have a limitation here, but whatever. So here I have just a little drawback, that because of the splitting of the spine, the way it happens, I need to, in order to really rotate the legs correctly, I also need to pick this bone. So now I have this motion here. So this is a little inconvenience, because as I've mentioned, the connected rig is not, it's tricky. It has a huge limitation. So I cannot just parent or bone constrain this bone to this, unfortunately. So I have to pick it manually. But because it is already operating as a hip sway setup, it just follows up perfectly if I just pick it. Or if I don't want to pick it, I can do that. And if I don't pick the master lower body, I can still do the hip sway there. So that's the, and And we can do the Pxy with a deform rig, then we can offset and all that, but I decided to do this directly in the control rig, and this was very difficult because I had to decide, okay, I decided to push the spine as low as possible and have the hips then very low, the bone of the hips sway feature very low, so that I will have my bendy bone spine from, there's even a bone name, medical anatomic name is the sacrum, right? So there's a, I think it's sacrum, right? So there's the base of the spine when it merges with the hips, so the sacrum, it's sort of low, right? So I've lowered the spine close to the sacrum region, and then I have more bendiness on the control spine, right? This is auto IQ option, by the way. It's, and yeah, it's too long. Let's reduce this. Okay, here. And I had to decide what I want for the spine behavior, because when I cross without IQ option, then it will move all the body, then because the lower body then becomes F key. But because the control chain here doesn't control the master, so the feet stay in place, right? The feet will be controlled by other things. So, and maybe there are some crazy behaviors, I think, that will occur in any rig if you try to pick multiple bones at the same time. Another cool thing about auto IQ option is this. So there's no IQ bone constraint set up here. Yeah, there is, but it's not operating here. I can combine it, so I can pick this and decide where the amount of, and if the rig is set properly, I can have double bending, which we can't really do with IQ bone constraint unless we have a, we need to take off the pull target, not use the pull target, and we also need to have the chain starting straight, absolutely straight. And for the auto IQ option, this is not necessary. This is why this spine will bend in any direction, because it's not IQ bone constraint. Although there is the setup here. Let's run a script for a system that I'm making here. So you have an IQ head switch. Yeah, so here, yeah, so it's not complete. There's something here that I have to retake, but this is a head pinning setup. So now we have, see that I now can't really control the spine very well, but still can tweak in some ways. I could have tweaking for the deform rig here, so I can but the idea here is to be able to do, yeah, so the head is spinned in place. So this can be very interesting for certain things, and I'm missing something about the motion, but whatever. So this will create some strange interactions with the auto IQ option, and this is another question. I fix it with a control spine lock, but this is crazy. This doesn't worth explaining here. So why do you have this exactly? Yeah, it's a I already had I key from the head, right? But with this I key head switch, see, this is I key head from the head, but it's not pinned, right? With the pinned, I can do pin head, which is good, right? And we have some intermediate pinning can allow for some, maybe some useful posing sometimes, not sure. Okay, it's exaggerated. And yeah, so there's that's why this pinning head can be interesting, right? I'm missing something. Looks like we got a disconnection here. Sometimes this happens, that one of the bones of the mirrored side disconnects, so it was not responding, so I knew it was disconnected. The spine was not responding to, yeah, so look how this is cool, right? It's not doing exactly what I want. I want to push the spine, but I think the spine is too crazy already, so need to make some space there. And here you see we'll have a little problem because this is I key bone constraint on the same chain. So here we have a problem with the curvature of the spine. You want to bend only in one direction. But by reposing here, we can sort of conform. Yeah, we can change the behavior even for the I key bone constraint. But it's annoying to tweak, right? So it's like this is to be used very circumstantial, in very specific circumstances, but it is feasible. It's just can be very annoying. So here I cannot bend the spine. I can, but I'll need to do this. Then this is happening because the spine that's suffering the I key bone constraint is not straight from the rest position. So this is the critical limitation of the I key bone constraint. I wouldn't like to read my character in the rest position from straight spine. This is so be a terrible idea, right? I tried to have a mechanism, I key chain sort of work, but with drawbacks. It was like no. It's like it's nightmarish. So I couldn't find a better solution to that than just stack the I key chains in a single. And that, anyways, is just the question of using or not using this switch. Alright, folks, so this is what I have for today, what I had for today. Let's just last revision here in the to-do list. If there's whiteness of, okay, this real wave paint lips, okay, wave paint helper lips. This is something I wanted to do but couldn't. There is some helper lips bones, which you don't see here, that they would substitute indeed these bones, just this. So twist, lip twist upper for the top, lip twist bottom, lip corner spread. So these helper bones, they have some bone constraints that they will automate they will basically, they are not working here. They're not wave painted. They will substitute very well, actually, several shape keys. That's crazy. So this was my find, and they work even on universal sonic melt setup. So this is my intention. I want to save a lot of time. The only one that I can't do with this very well, there might be many, but a few that I can't do very well, but the purse, very tiny mouth. This is why I want to reduce the wideness of the rest position, because Dorothy, this character, she doesn't need to have a very big mouth. So I think even this rest position, it is good for the universonic mouth setup that the rest position of the mouth is a bit wide. Wait, what the hell? Oh, is this? No. I don't like this. I think this is a shape key. I hope it's a shape key. No, okay, so apparently I've destroyed my models somehow, but oh no, it was just, wait, this must be a bug. These are disabled. Okay, so no, just that was scary as hell. But this, no, there's no problem with the these are old shape keys from another character even. So you see, even many of them will require deltas, and then if you have combined many more, then you have delta of delta. It's just, I really hate all this stuff. The way shape keys, not just in Blender, I think in general, I hate this idea. I prefer skinning with, although it has huge problems, right? So, what's this solo active shape key? Let me show the action figure. Okay, never used that, don't know what this is. So just want the basis and anatomic clips. This is not, this is all messed up. Yeah, there's nothing to do. So we can do the happy with the tweak, with the twist lips. We can do the sad. We can not the purse. I think it's possible, but very hard with helper helper bones. Wide we can do this. Is one of the bones that I show is the where's the bone collections? It's the, it will be this lips corner spread, so it's just for pulling the lips apart. It's very harder to get them close together without breaking the rig, unless the mesh, the causing terrible artifacts. This is why if the mouth was just a little smaller, that would be less wider, that would be on purpose, right? But then it will be very feasible to do a rounded. I might not even need this shape kit. It depends on the pose, right? It might be difficult to pose the lips, in a O shape easily without a shape key, or without bendy bones, or without how do you call it, or without the helper bones maybe. Yeah, I don't know how it would be to have a rounded with it would be a pose assets, yeah. So I know this is not very good for spontaneous O shapes, but we can make, but at some in some positions it's hard to mimetize it, so that's why it could be nice to have a rounded shape key still. Purse rounded, anatomic ellipse is special, tall and tall I think is not necessary. Then also, because we must remember each shape key that we make, if it has it might merge with another shape key, combine, and then we might need a corrective delta, and that's super complicated. Then keys, yeah, this it is possible to do this with skinning only, the armature deformed stuff, but it's not trivial, and the results sometimes are not so good, but this is also difficult to achieve with shape keys anyways, depending on the character design. And then yeah, puff cheek. So alright folks, that was it indeed for today. Thanks for watching, hope that was enjoyable, and see you tomorrow. Any other day we'll continue with this project. I need this character for the 3D webcomics project that I'm getting to make, right, for sci-fi story, and might be good to make her a new costume, not a more a space agent instead of a space marine here or something like that. So I'm gonna rush as much as I can all that, because I need her to be completed for the 3D, and that could be, yeah, next month I think I might be able to make the first page or something like this of that. So need her, the scenery, and that's it. But that's a lot in terms of CG creation, so for one single person. So thanks for watching again folks, take care and happy blending, see you soon.